Marvel is certainly one of the publishers with the highest sales figures in the history of comics, based on monthly and annual sales, throughout history. The Marvel Universe in cinemas only increased the brand's popularity stratospherically. Marvel's most popular characters are not only the most popular in the company but also in the entire history of comics, and now with the films, they are from everyone, known by a large part of the population who don't follow the comics. And for today's video we will see who the biggest and most popular characters in the Marvel Universe are in theaters. Subscribe to the channel and like the video, comment on video suggestions and be sure to follow us. Thank you for your kindness, and let's get to the list. Magneto was by far Marvel's greatest villain, as he was the recurring antagonist of comic book stories. His power and way of acting, always putting mutants above everything else, were positions we liked to see in villains at the time. For a long time in comics, series and films, Magneto was Marvel's main villain. Even with the growth of the Marvel Universe in cinema, Magneto continued to have his status as the ultimate villain. With films that did not reach the public in their entirety, Magneto may remain, having its prominence in comics and animated series that will be released in the coming years. The Hulk is the strongest there is, but that's not all. He has also been mega popular for a long time. The Hulk has been published continuously for decades, starring in solo, team, and event comics. He has great name recognition and became a huge Marvel star when his TV show The Incredible Hulk premiered. In the 90s, when most of Marvel wasn't doing well, Hulk comics still had solid sales. Unlike many of his Silver Age Marvel compatriots, the MCU didn't do much to help Hulk's popularity because he was never adapted in the best way in films and series. The Scarlet Witch has a very difficult past, but she is still very popular. At the height of her popularity, she was part of the Avengers, which gave her a new status in the comics. The story that she is a mutant and the daughter of one of the most feared mutants makes her a very interesting character. Now in the Marvel Cinema Universe, she has had great development, which has made her grow and reach all audiences, establishing herself as the most popular woman among all the characters today. A difficult status to beat. Deadpool was created to be a great parody of all the violence that was constantly presented in comics at the time. In a short time, he became extremely popular, gaining participation in animated series, magazines featuring other heroes, and exclusive products. That Deadpool would have his own film was a matter of time. When his film was released, he managed to break away from the popularity he had only with comic book readers but reached the entire public that is not very connected to the heroes, becoming a pop culture icon. The Captain in the Golden Age was the most popular character on Marvel. The Silver Era was his return after decades of failure. Because of the X-Men, its audience began to migrate to other heroes, leaving aside our beloved Captain America. Nowadays, Captain America once again has the same or even greater popularity than he had in the Golden Age of Quadrinhos. His story, full of honor and bravery, makes him an inspiring character. For many, Steve Rogers' entire arc in Infinity War and Ultimatum, ending with a happy ending, gives the audience a feeling of joy for having followed this hero's struggles and achievements. Loki was very popular in the Silver Age, being the first to face the Avengers team in the comics. His importance was never left aside, but his popularity was no longer the same. With the arrival of the Marvel Universe in cinemas, Loki received a new interpretation and a variation of development that managed to remodel the character as we had never seen before, from his relationship with Thor, Odin, and Asgard, but also with his greed and pride. Iron Man is an incredible hero and a force to be reckoned with. He has long been a staple of the Marvel Universe. He is a founding Avenger and forms the Marvel Trinity alongside Captain America and Thor. Of the three, Iron Man has always been the lowest in terms of popularity. It didn't get as many good stories and amazing creators, but it was solid. The 2010s saw Iron Man take on a huge role in the Marvel Universe after losing popularity in the 80s and 90s. 2008's Iron Man made him a huge star, and Marvel tried to capitalize on that in the comics. This never worked very well, but Iron Man's popularity with the general public cannot be denied. Marvel has created very popular villains, but few have been able to match Thanos in recent years. In the comics, he was a B-list villain and died, until 1991's Infinity Gauntlet brought him back to success. Since then, he's been through some ups and downs, but started to get a push again when the MCU arrived. Thanos' place as the big bad of the Marvel Universe's Infinity Saga has made him a huge deal again. He's starred in event books, gotten his own solo comics, and is a near-constant presence in the Marvel Universe. Thanos is as popular among comic book fans as he is among fans in general, making him a true phenomenon in the world of superheroes. Wolverine is the best there is at what he does, and that sells comics. His debut may not have been the biggest thing in the world, but his place on the X-Men during their period of greatest growth was a huge benefit to him. Wolverine quickly became the most popular member of the most popular team in comics. When the X-Men hit it big, Wolverine was front and center. He still is, all these years later. Even in the years of dominance of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Wolverine remains more popular than the biggest characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's an attraction in every way, and his comics are consistently among Marvel's best-selling solo books. Fans are crazy with anticipation for both the return of Hugh Jackman and the future of Wolverine in the Marvel Universe in theaters. Spider-Man has long been Marvel's star. Silver Age Marvel was quickly gaining prominence from its distinguished competition, but they weren't running the table until Spider-Man's debut. Since then, Spider-Man has basically been Marvel's most popular character, selling comics and merchandise like no one else. Spider-Man has been a multimedia star for decades, with cartoons, a live-action Japanese show, video games, movies and more. Even when fans aren't happy with what Marvel is doing with the character, as they haven't been for over a decade, The Amazing Spider-Man is still Marvel's best-selling book. That was our list. What did you think? You can comment below and tell us which Marvel comic is the most popular. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for your kindness and see you next time.